hop into this thing. All right. First off, I want to start by saying it ain't my fault. I mean, it is darkened. It is my fault. But let me also don't glitchy start with me. Come on now. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Cinema. All right, today I got Glinzy here with me as always.
What
And
up?
actually, we have a lovely special guest here. We have Cody. All right, Cody here is the founder of SkylineGG. If you guys don't know SkylineGG, you're missing out. But you should, because we've ran how many tournaments with you guys? We ran like 5 tournaments with you guys. Not really, probably like
Yeah, it's
3 or 4 or something around those parts. But
been a couple. It's been a few.
yeah, it's been a good bit. But we're here, season 2, episode 2. Hope I got that right. I think it's like week 12 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but we're here and I'm ready. So today we have just a little discussion. What was that? 1, 2, 3?
I was trying to do 12.
12. Like what? Yeah, it's something weird. We're having a little discussion with Cody. All right. We're just gonna kind of talk about, honestly, more like an interview type thing. I'm excited for it. I love talking to other founders about these things and kind of learning their process into this, especially being the founder of TG, and Glinzy's been here since the beginning, so it's kind of cool for him to see it too. And all you guys in the chat, of course, to understand from other orgs what they're planning on and stuff like that. But before we get into that, I really want to appreciate, to shout you guys out. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Glinzy appreciate it. Cody appreciates it, all the support and stuff. And it really means a lot. Make sure to check us on YouTube too, because,
Can I do an icebreaker?
Do it.
All right, cool. Icebreaker. All right,
Icebreaker.
Cody, you're gonna be the first one. Okay. What is your all-time #1 favorite game besides Call of Duty?
Oh,
Favorite game.
now is it like a series or like
Um,
actual just a game?
It is. It can be like it can be a series. We'll say just overall game. Let's hear
I
it.
don't know. I've been really feeling Valorant here lately, man. I don't know. Like I don't play much competitive, but
Valorant.
like I know, but like I never really played many games other than Call of Duty. So if
Okay,
Call of Duty's
yeah.
off the table.
Yeah.
I mean, like my next go-to game would have been Valorant to pick, right?
That's
Okay,
wild.
okay.
That's wild. I respect it though. I respect it.
Okay. Cinema, what you
That's-
got? Tell me what you got.
It's not multiplayer, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's
That's fine.
big fan of Ratchet and Clank. I've always loved those games, dude. Those are solid games. I don't play PlayStation anymore, of course, but like those, like if I can go back and play those again and just continue to play them, they were my favorites. That or Sly Cooper between those two. But I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
What you got?
You
Clint?
can't go wrong. I mean, I'm
Go
a
ahead.
Pokemon.
I mean,
Go
I
on.
could have guessed. Yeah, we could have just
I
guessed
mean,
Pokemon.
I got a top 5, and it's always between those top 5, so it's always hard. But I mean, #1 and 2 typically always differs. So I mean, I'll just say Pokemon is the easy go-to.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
whatever it is, Pokemon's a solid
I mean,
game.
you
Like,
see the room.
You see the room
Come
every
on
time. Show the other cam. Show the other cam. Oh, actually, yeah, you should show it. Go
I
ahead.
don't.
It'll do it. It'll do it. It'll do it. Well, look at that. Look at that stuff, dude. That is crazy.
Did it mess anything up? Are we good?
Yeah, no, you're good. It set everything up perfectly. Guys, this is my first time doing the podcast. All right, don't make fun of me, or if you do make fun of me, just message me. Like, Cinema, you're a goof. We don't know why you do this. I blame Glinzy for it, honestly, but whatever. All right, let's hop into the whole purpose of the podcast. Okay, Cody, first question. You ready for this?
Yes, let's go.
What was the reason for your founding of SkylineGG? What inspired you to do it? Should I say, kind of your thing? Yeah.
Well, Skyline's coming up on 2 years there now, so I
Mhm.
was 18, I think, when I first decided to start my own org. But I was working around with a couple other orgs, just helping like community management and like just esports in general, just like to try and get a feel for the scene itself.
Mhm.
And then I made a few friends, and they're my ex CEO and my COO and all that. But I think it was April of 2021, I do believe, is when I first decided. I was like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna open up my own organization, and the first game we hopped into was Call of Duty. But I think like the inspiration behind it was just like how, I guess, invested the scene was at the time as well, and like everyone was so helpful and everyone was so compassionate about like trying to get the scene where it's supposed to be, right?
Yep.
Get the eyes on there and all that. Right?
The whole friendlyship
So,
kind of thing and guiding each other to
exactly.
it. Yeah.
And like everyone that works in the scene too, they all work so hard. And it was just, I guess, the worker mindset. It was where I wanted to be, right? And I love working and like being able to put something up on the big screen maybe one day and be able to show that and be able to sit back and be like, this is what I've created.
I'm telling you, man, that's what I tell the
what I
guys all
love.
the time. Like, that's my biggest thing is like being the founder of Oregon. Like, you see even like the slow growth sometimes. Like, we have slow weeks. You know, it happens, especially now because MW2 is, a word that we can't really discuss right now, and MW3 is not looking so promising, but it is at the same time. We're in a dry spell. I tell these guys, hey, we're gonna get there, and like the slow process we were making and getting teams together and like these guys being good and like, okay, hey, we can be on the big screen one day, guys. Like, keep it up. There's motivation there. Even if it's playing Pokemon, you know what I'm saying, Glenzy? We got you. You can't forget that.
Listen. I'm a multi-variety streamer. I play everything, okay? When COD drops, I got a solid 3 or 4 months in that, okay? And then I give it up for a while, and then I'm here and there with it, all right?
Yeah. Most definitely. Opinion base is Dark and Soul in chat.
So, Cody, tell me this, man. What COD did you decide to start the organization on? Because, I mean, obviously we all start somewhere,
It wasn't okay, so it was MW2. It was 2019, I do believe, is where we started.
Okay, as long as you didn't say Advanced Warfare, we'd be all right. So that's
we
fine.
started there, and then I think the next game was Cold War that came out like after that, right?
Yeah, Cold War.
I do believe.
Yes,
I think, and then it was Cold War, and then Cold War came out, and then our team ended up splitting up. So then that was kind of a letdown, but at the time we ended up jumping into Rainbow Six as well.
Oh,
so
I've heard that
it was a bit of a curve.
Time. Yeah,
it was a bit of a curve, but when it came down to it, we still had teams representing us, and obviously we were at like we peaked with COD, and then like it was a steady just flat line for a long time with R6, and then trying to jump into like Valorant and everything too, but just things not working out. But like, I mean, we started with Call of Duty, jumped into R6, and then we had a Rocket League team that was about to get signed with us.
Ooh.
Then they decided to go off with another org because obviously we didn't have the following. We didn't have that.
It happens.
Like,
it happens.
Yeah,
Trust me.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the scene.
You can't do much about it. People are trying to do the better for themselves. That's why you can't hate them.
And you gotta support it.
Yeah,
you gotta support it too, right? So like at the end of the day, like Call of Duty was always like our basically our breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
And eventually we're gonna get back in there. I do want to get a COD team, and I gotta say half the exec team doesn't agree with that. But I mean, like at the end of the day, I gotta follow my dream, and Call of Duty is where we gotta go.
Well, I try to get my guys to play Farm Sim. They're like, no, we ain't doing Farm. Like, come on, dude, that game's so good. The Farm Sim, man, that's where it's at.
He's gonna be like, all right, guys, time to do a Stardew.
Hey, don't chill out now. Don't knock Stardew. Come on, man.
You should hear this man playing Stardew.
Hey, Stardew's great.
Oh, I can cuss for fucking 5 hours now. Sorry, I had to look at the time.
Becca Horse at TG Stardew. We'll get there, Mitchell. We'll get there.
So Cody, what's the org looking like right now then? So you're saying, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, right? Like Cinema knows this. TG right now is also not shying away from the current COD, but I know a lot of us uninstalled it. It's just one of those things we're in that transition stage. Yeah. So what is your guys' org looking like right now? Are you guys COD based? Are you Rainbow based? Like where are you guys at?
This is going to be like a complete shot in the dark, but right now we're in Apex. So
okay.
Completely off that track with that, right? We've got an Apex, we've got a female team, and we've got a male team.
Okay.
We're also into the Smash scene as well. We picked up a couple Smash players that have been representing us. So we've been trying to dabble in everywhere. Like Call of Duty, it's for a long time for myself and my CEO, we didn't really want to do Call of Duty because the return is definitely not all there.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot of money goes into Call of Duty, and you almost need like a well-known pro team or semi-pro or either a U18 roster, right?
Yep.
That has a lot of potential that you can put a lot of money into and really back it. And U18 is obviously a lot harder to come by than every other challengers and like other AM team out there, right? But currently we're in Apex, we're in Smash. I got a couple project rosters for Valorant because I got to do it. But yeah, and Call of Duty is hopefully coming soon.
Are you gonna be?
Don't know yet.
Are you gonna be dipping your toe into CS2 at all?
You better. We talked about this before the stream. Actually, me and him were discussing this.
We're thinking about doing it. We're looking. We haven't decided yet, but we're gonna see what teams are out there. And I think starting off, we're probably gonna start with tournaments in CS2 to see what free agent rosters are out there. And I feel like that way we'll be able to have more of an idea of what teams have potential, and then what teams we could really see if we get a coach, we get a analyst, and a team manager behind it.
Yeah.
What we could do with that roster, right? And obviously, the
Okay.
younger the roster, the more potential for the future comes along, right? So CS2 is definitely where we could be in the next few months. Honestly, I'm pretty excited.
It's
like it.
The game looks good. I like to play today. I played some matches today. I did pretty good. I rubbed that in Dark and Soul's face, by the way. I did 16-5, just so you guys know. No big deal. But anyways, that's the only time I ever do good in the game.
Was he deafened and you weren't calming?
No,
or?
he wasn't even playing, so it was better. You know what I mean? So like, when you're not
Oh,
playing
okay.
with, yeah. So no, but like, dude, the game, I get mad at, of course. But I tell everyone, like, when I play the game, I'm like, it's still better than COD right now. You know, like, playing that game and just getting one shot is still better than the situation COD's in. It's just, I don't know, man, rookie numbers, whatever. You guys are flaming me now. I shouldn't have said nothing. They're flaming me in chat. Well, shoot. I mean, so you discussed, you know, the founding of it, stuff like that. You took my question, Glenzie. I ain't gonna lie to you. You took both my questions and you just kept going with it.
Hey, I told you, if you're not gonna send me a question list, I'm just gonna piggyback,
okay,
bro.
well, okay, go with the next one. What's your next question? Fire it.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
All right. So this has always been like, I love designing stuff. Okay. I mean, I help with some of the merch and things like that. What's the thought process and the brains behind your guys' logo, colors, and kind of how you guys wanted to present yourself?
Well, first we had, like, back when we first started, I had like just a Discord graphics designer, and it was like an OG banner back when, before like the little logos came out with like the symbol.
Yeah.
It was like the full like background, the full Skyline Esports, all that, right? So that was where we started. But then everyone was like, well, that's like 2016 esports, so you got to update it. And everyone was on me about it. They were like, come on, you got to update it. You got to update it. So with Skyline, I kind of like, if you can see, like, in one of our logos, if you're in the Discord, it has the Skyline logo itself, and then in the S, there's a little city on at the top part of the S too.
Yeah, I've noticed.
So,
okay.
and then the background also as well. So like, with Skyline, I mean, like, the sky's the limit with esports and like the whole industry itself, and like we really stand behind that. So I mean, like, we wanted to implement the fact that, like, if you're from a small town gaming or whatever, there's always like the bigger pictures, like the big city playing, like being on the big screen, being at the events, all that, right?
See, that's
so, like,
such that is a very
sick.
deep, like, detail wise, like, a logo. Like, the whole Tilted gaming thing came from, like, of course, Tilted being mad, you know, and like that's, I mean, that's not about it, but that's just kind of like the gist of it. It also was like a little joke, like, you know, you're gonna get mad, get tilted, blah blah blah, when we go against you. But dude, the Skyline thing, that's actually pretty sick. I like that idea.
That is cool. Yeah.
Not gonna take it from you, I promise, but you know. But you get it.
You're gonna see a TG Skyline logo.
TG Skyline. It's gonna have like the lines in the background. I'll tell you what, some of these other orgs, they have some really cool stuff. I'm looking at, I'm like, dang, that's actually, why didn't I think about that? You know, like, I look at, like, I think Viz Uprising, you know, they had a situation that came up recently, but looking at their graphics and stuff, like, dude, there's like, they have some really good stuff.
Game
Tara
day is a really good graphics designer.
Yeah. So
I just graphics designer, top tier.
Really, I think we use Fusey a good bit.
Tara worked in Skyline for a little bit too. He had to take time away, but I wish we were still able to work something out, but we obviously had to go and move forward and try and find a graphic designer long term. And we ended up finding one.
Who was that one graphic designer? Not graphic designer, but logo that was super sick. I think it was is it Syndicate Gaming?
Syndicate Gaming.
Did we scrim them?
SYN or SIN?
SYN.
Yeah, we've scrimmed them. Yeah.
We don't talk about the other one.
Yeah. I got you. Syndicate.
Gaming?
Yeah. Sin Gaming. Yeah. There's a story behind that one we'll discuss off podcast. But yeah, Syndicate Gaming, we went against them because that was with Dark Messiah and all of them. Shout out to those guys, by the way. Great team.
I saw their logo on Twitter and I was like, damn.
Yeah, they've changed a lot.
I'm down.
Yeah, they've changed a
Did
lot.
they? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they've changed a lot. And then Syndicate got slammed. All right, Trevor, calm down now.
Good games all around.
Yeah, good games all around. My GGs. But you know, okay, I'm sure you see this, Cody, too. How do you feel about, like, you said that growing together is a big thing. Of course, smaller orgs and so on and so forth. I don't know if you get the same feeling I do, but watching other orgs, like, when they change their logos and their stuff and watching them grow, how does that make you feel? Like, do you feel competitive when it comes to that thing, or do you feel like you're kind of like, hey, you know, good job, bud, you dab them up kind of type stuff, or like, what is your mindset
I
on
think
that.
it's a bit of both. I mean, like when you think about it, obviously you want to be the next one up,
Yeah,
right?
of
So
course.
like it's definitely competitive in a sense, but like seeing other teams succeed in the amateur division and knowing how hard it is to get past certain milestones in
Mm-hmm.
the scene, it's a beautiful sight to see because like every year that goes on, the esports industry obviously has more and more value, right?
Yep.
And being able to see that come to life and be able to really make it happen, I love it. I love it, but like it
Yeah.
definitely is a competitive,
Yeah,
competitive
that's
thing
what I
too.
was
Makes
saying.
you want to work
I
more.
was say it makes you want to work harder, and then you start working too hard. You're like, oh well, now I got to slow down because I can't do the right
Yeah,
thing here.
yeah,
There's a bunch of orgs out there. I can't name them all, of course, but I mean, there's just Sin is a big one, like I said before. Watching them go from low to nothing. Who is it? Sky Risers as well. Shout
yeah.
out to them, Dirty
Skyrisers,
Bird, all
yeah,
them. Watching them do like all that is huge motivation for me as a founder of an org. You know, I'm like, okay, hey guys, they're doing this, so let's let's kind of like follow in their footsteps. I'll actually reach out to them a lot of time and be like, hey, what did
Yeah.
you do to get here? How did you get here? And it's really cool to build that bond, dude. I love building that
it
bond with other
is.
people.
Yeah,
Like I got like when I reached out to you, I was like, oh man, hopefully he wants to be part of the podcast, and you're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, oh great, because now it's like, or not just me and you are closer. Now it's like our orgs are closer, and we can kind of like we're talking about doing possible events together and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I
yeah.
know we've talked about it between the staff and everything about doing
Oh yeah.
events. Um, but
Well, the
that's
big thing with
something,
that
yeah,
is we take a look at FaZe, Optic, and all those like big guys, right?
yeah,
I mean, you act like they're not homies. You know what I mean? Some of them. I mean,
yeah,
obviously they have their beefs. I mean, that's fine. That's a part of the business. I mean, sports are the same way. Like, you can't shy away from it. Beef's gonna happen. Like,
Exactly.
I'll square up with anybody. I don't care who it is. But um, that's my point though. Is it's all love at the end of the day. We're doing things that we love. We're trying to make something out of something, and we're just realistically just having fun, I guess. Again,
we're
Exactly.
like I
we're
mean,
all
that's
on the same
what we're
path,
trying to
is what it
do.
is too. We're all on the same
Yeah,
That's what
path,
I
like
mean. And
trying to get out there and do things.
there's no need to make enemies, right? You
Exactly.
want to build each other up because at the end of the
hmm
day, you don't know who you're going to work with in the future, right?
hmm
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, if you ended up, like, hypothetically speaking, if you closed your org down and say Tilted, like, if Skyline closed down and Tilted was the next one up, right? And then everyone at Skyline then started applying for positions over at Tilted. You don't want to have those burned bridges,
Mm-mm.
right? You don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
everyone wants to be in this scene. You don't want to burn a bridge with
Crazy.
any
Glenn's.
teams that you want, like, that you potentially you could be working for in the
Yeah.
future, right? So, I mean, like, obviously there's some teams that, I don't know, kind of like they don't want to work with other teams because they're afraid that like the quote unquote smaller team, like if you're bigger and the smaller team grows past you,
Mm.
then you kind of have that like, oh wow, I put you there, I put you on the map kind of attitude.
Yeah.
But I mean, like at the end of the day, you gotta work hard. If you don't want it, you're not gonna get there,
Exactly.
right? And like you gotta be able to want to be the next one up to be able to
Mhm.
see the process happen, right?
Yep.
That's Glenn's. Yeah, I
Yeah.
seen you smile when you said that. By the way, we know exactly. Dude, there is so much that Tilted has gone through. I was actually looking at. I think it was like beginning of June is when this whole thing really kicked off. And like it's just between that times from June to now, like the process we've gone through is like
Yeah.
trial and error, and it's like okay, hey, we have burned some bridges, and it's not our fault. It's just things have come up, and it's like, and now discussing that with someone else is like, it kind of puts in a bigger perspective, like how
hmm
not how serious we are, but how this is actually like a thing that's happening. This is actually something that is, we're trying to take it places. What I mean, just like
Mhm.
Skyline is too. Skyline, I think it's been about the past month or so. I've been kind of like retweeting your guys' stuff more, liking your stuff more, and like just watching everything in this little small world of esports between amateur teams. And dude, it's mind blowing, honestly. And I always say that
It
about
is.
esports or about being an org owner. It's everything we do is mind blowing. And you make so many connections and stuff, and my followings have grown, things like that. I'm sure people in my orgs are following have kind of grown slightly
Mhm.
between other orgs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But it's
Well, I
just
mean, and piggyback off that is love and hate is hate. I mean,
Mhm.
in this industry and in sports and esports in general, it's gonna happen. Like
Mhm.
Trevor in the chat, I'm gonna shout you out because I heard you say screw the Cowboys, and I'm a Cowboys fan,
Wow.
right? But there's love is love, right? And there's hate is hate. Like it happens, right? Like, we're not gonna sit here and act like, if we scrimmed against you guys, we're not gonna be our team is gonna be like, fuck them, they're doing
Yeah.
this, like whatever, screw them, whatever. It's all fun and games, but then we get into a setting like this, like it's all love. We want you to grow the same way you guys want us to grow, and that's how we kind of
Exactly.
build upon stuff like that. So
Exactly.
it's the same thing with streamers. Like, for me, I'll hop in somebody's chat and be like, damn, how does he have so many much more views than me? But in the end of the day, I'm like, damn, but he's striving. He's having a good time, or she's having a good time, or whatever. It's still love.
There's
but
jealousy
also,
there, but
it helps us grow.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's also about like learning from people too. Like learning from those who are better than you. There's nothing wrong with that. And the people who you're learning from shouldn't take it offensively. You're trying to learn from them. And I've ran into a couple people like that are like kind of sour that I'm trying to learn from them. I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to take your, flow or what you want to call it, but like I'm just trying to be as good as you are, trying to be up there with you and competing with you and all that.
And like,
go ahead.
At the end of the day, nobody's perfect. Right?
Oh yeah,
like, we're all equal here, right? And like when people kind of hold that grudge against other like people and organizations and stuff like that, I mean, like it's only gonna affect them down the road, right? And like
100%.
At first, when we first started off, right, like there's been like when we started growing a lot of teams like just like first day out teams wanted to like partner with us so they could like, and then we asked them what the partnership program entailed, and they were like, oh well, you retweet all of our stuff, we'll retweet all your stuff, and like we'll kind of just like share communities and stuff like that. And we're not against that. It's just more like if it's going to be beneficial, it needs to be more of a combined community workload, right? We can't just be like, oh, we just post everything you guys are doing, you do that, right? We want to work together. We want to create content together. We want to be able to make it beneficial for both sides, so it's not just a one-sided deal, right?
Yeah.
And like, and a lot of teams resent the idea of that, and they're like, oh, you're just saying that because you guys are bigger. And we're like, no, we want to be able to make something of this. If we're going to partner, we don't want to just like piggyback you guys all the way up. And we're not big. We're small. Right, compared to every other team, right? Like, I mean, like, we're still learning, and like, we want to be able to make sure that, like, if we're gonna do stuff like that, we want to make sure it's beneficial on both sides, and we want to make sure that, like, if you guys are growing with us, we want to be able to create content and make something happen from it, right? And like, content's gonna be the backbone of esports. We can get into that after, but like,
we've discussed content within things, and our content side's lacking, which is fine. I love our guys, I love everyone here. But like you said, we can kind of go into that once we hop into the subject of MW3 and what we expect on that. But question-wise, I mean, you covered all my questions. Glenn asked a lot of them. Glenn, do you have any more questions for him as of right now?
There was one in the chat, Mr. Bacon. Yeah. He said, what is a game that you wanted to make a team for, but the game wasn't popular enough to warrant the time and effort to scout players for?
Overwatch.
Oh, that's
Overwatch
interesting. Okay.
That's pretty solid.
Now, I don't know anything like enough about Overwatch, but the whole Overwatch scene, I mean, like Spacey, like my CEO, he knows everything about Overwatch, right? And like when it comes down to it, like the competitive side and then like the player base and the following just did not match up properly. And we had talks with one team, but it just like obviously the whole scene like kind of like crumbled, and it was just kind of definitely sad because Overwatch 2 had so much hype behind it, and like it had the potential to be such a great game. But like with everything just happening, and obviously like the higher ups and like just the scene itself, just not being able to put everything together and be able to show that Overwatch deserves to be a competitive game. I don't know. It's just that's one game that we would have loved to go into, but it just was not beneficial at the end of the day.
So my next question, really, go ahead. Do you have one?
No. I was just saying which makes sense.
I was just gonna say to piggyback off that, not necessarily about Overwatch, but overall your recruiting. You've mentioned now a lot that you recruit teams. You don't do freelance individuals? ?
To an extent. I mean, like, at the end of the day, I mean, project rosters have a lot more hope because, one, they all have the same goal in mind as being pros. And then when you get a team that's already put together, there's a lot of asks behind it, right? They want entry fees, they want graphics, they want... Potentially some of them want salaries, and then we're like...
Did we lose him?
Did we lose him? Uh-oh.
We
lost him. Hold on.
Oh, I'm here?
Here? Welcome back, welcome back.
What was the last thing I said?
They want salaries.
Did I lose audio? What just happened?
No,
Wait,
we can hear you, Cody.
Hold on.
Yeah,
there's something going on here. Wait. Okay, wait. Oh my god, everyone's freaking out. So can chat hear me? Glenzy, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you as well.
Hold on. What is happening? Oh, the never's laughing.
Oh,
It got
no.
quiet. Give me a second. Let me hop back in. Hold on one second. Whoa. Whoa. We're gonna figure this out, guys. Hold on 1 second. What is happening?
Oh no.
What just?
Are we good?
Wait. So you can chat hear them? Guys, talk real fast. Cause I can't
Yes,
hear
hello.
nothing.
Hello?
Like
Hello?
this is fine. Everything's fine. Everything is okay.
All right.
What is happening?
What did you break?
Oh, you can hear them? Okay, so I can't. So I'm just done talking the whole stream. I
Oh,
guess.
you can't hear me? Your
What just
headset
happened?
died. Tell me, somebody type in chat that his headset's dead.
Oh,
Question
man,
mark.
of course my internet had to
What do I
it.
do? Like I don't hear nothing, and like this is so awkward.
Oh, okay. All right. So screw
No.
cinema.
Mm-mm.
Screw cinema here. Okay. I'm taking over. Cody, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cody, what are your thoughts on
I'm gonna talk.
MW3?
MW3. Ah, man. See, like everything that I've seen so far, it's basically MW2, but a bit more glorified. I mean, like
Okay.
you get your map choices, you get your slide canceling, all that good stuff. But man, like the scene is not appreciating it the way they had it hyped, and
Yep.
for the event side of things too, right? Because we're heavily relying on being able to run leagues and tournaments for that game itself. So I mean, like
Like
that is gonna
directly
be
after the release too. Like there's a big
exactly
event right after release.
right,
It's
and
crazy.
like that's the thing, right? Like we kind of need MW3 to come out and be like the best Call of Duty we've seen in years, right? And like I don't know, I'm a little bit worried, but
Yeah.
I know that Call of Duty, I mean, like, it's a fresh game, so all these Call of Duty pros are going to be playing. So, like, they're going to have their complaints, but we're just going to have to roll with it, right? And, like,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to switch games because Call of Duty is, like, in its own genre of games itself, in my opinion, because, like, you got your mouse and keyboards for CS2 and Valorant and other games, right? But, like, when it comes to, like, controller games, like, Call of Duty holds the number one up there, right?
Oh yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree 110%. I mean, how do you actually feel about this movement though? Because that's what I've been feeling the most. I've been seeing so much, like it's either really good and really smooth, but there's no b hopping. You can slide cancel, but there's no b hop now, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to jump around the map versus slide around the map. So what are your thoughts on it?
See, I've never been a fan of b hopping, so the
okay.
slide canceling and like the no b hopping, I think I like it. I haven't played yet now, but
Yeah, me either.
I like
Sadly.
the idea of that. I like the idea of
Okay.
it because like when you hop into a pub lobby, you don't want to like join in and then people just be bouncing around the map, man. Like it's kind of like that separates like the casual players to the pros, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like being able to like counter that. I mean, like it definitely makes the game a lot more fun for casuals, especially if pubs are going to be the pros are going to be playing the like pub lobbies and whatnot, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, so how do you feel about maps though, as well? I mean, there's so much that we can talk about, but
I mean,
I
I
just
like the maps. I can't complain.
okay.
Like, the maps so far, I like them because like they're bringing a lot of the old maps back too, right? And like
Okay.
I mean, like it's going to be mixed opinions on that too. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I don't like the maps and stuff like that, man. But like, I don't know, bringing back a few of the old maps that everyone enjoyed back in the day, and then kind of like giving us that nostalgia again.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I really enjoy it. How do you feel about it?
I was gonna say one of the biggest things for me and kind of watching this beta, right, is like the lane splits. So in competitive COD, it's not easy, but obviously there's a lot of like tracking with maps. Like you have to know where spawns are, you have to know where things are. Bringing these ones back into the mix, like, do you think they're gonna be adding any newer maps that are gonna like shed light onto the competitive scene? Because I don't know. Like I'm a little bit worried about that.
Personally, I think they're gonna have to. There's a couple maps, like I think the one on the building. I don't know what that one's called. I forget what that's
Is it
called. The one-
hijacked?
I think so.
Okay.
I think
Helicopter?
hijacked. Yeah, I think that might be
Or not
it, yeah.
hijacked. I'm sorry. High rise.
High rise.
Yeah.
So like, I don't even really think that's gonna be like. I think that map might get banned personally from like the CDL and just challengers itself because I mean like
Mhm.
obviously it's cool for the snipers and the trick shotters and all that, but I mean like at the end of the day for playing like competitively, I don't know. There's a lot of mistakes in the map, I think,
Yep.
and it just kind of kind of defeats the purpose about skill and just being able to spawn skill,
That's
right?
what I'm worried about with
So-
most of these maps, though, man. Like 12. I mean, Terminal, for example. There's so many, lower end and high end spots that you can be sitting in. I mean, there's literally 3 levels to the map technically. So, just taking a look at that in the competitive standpoint, I'm a little worried to see how it turns out. There's going to be a lot more planning in our team building and strategies.
Oh, for sure. But I think that might be what they want done now. Because I
Okay.
mean, like you have that for all the other games, right? So like for Valorant, let's use Valorant for example.
Yeah.
You need strats to play competitive Valorant,
Oh yeah.
right? You need to be able to run those strats in game. So I feel like instead of just being able to run around a Call of Duty map and just shoot whatever you see, right? I feel like
True.
having a strat book built up for the maps now and different maps because you can't use the same one for each one. I feel like that would make it kind of more of a what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but like kind of makes it more competitive to a sense, and then you'll see what the high IQ players are doing compared to the
Okay.
low IQ players. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like that thought process. I never thought of it that way.
I do too. I didn't hear half of it.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I
Nice.
got
Oh, you're back.
dude. I guess my headset, like, so I have this little USB like box thing, and sometimes it'll just kind of disconnect itself. So it disconnected my headset, which then threw it off, saying that it muted everything. So like, listen, I just sat here and looked pretty. I did pretty good at it. All right, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. If someone's gonna
bite
be
your lip?
handsome here, I'll do it for you guys. All right, I ain't gonna lie to you.
So we talked about just some of the maps. We talked about the movement a little bit. Did you have any questions for him based off
No,
of
I mean-
MW3 stuff?
No, not really. I mean, did you ask about any events coming up that we could possibly get into
Oh,
with them? Or-
no, I have
Yeah.
not.
So,
No,
do you
go
have any
for it.
events you plan on doing by chance? I mean, this is not just for TG, of course, but like for any other org out there that wants part of this, you know.
So I guess this will be the place to announce it. I mean,
Oh,
like,
that's up to you.
if
You
that's
ain't got
okay with
to.
you guys.
Yeah, I'm go for
Of
it.
course.
Well, so we're gonna be doing 3 to 4 week long leagues because no COD player wants to play 8 weeks of Call of Duty for just like I wouldn't say small payout, but like 8 weeks of grinding for like $1,000 first place. Kind of is a lot of work to go into it.
Yep.
So we're trying to like cut down the length time and just be able to produce multiple of them. So when the teams that lose, they don't have to wait 8 weeks for another one, right?
Yeah.
They only have to wait a month. And then like with that being said, like if teams are losing in our leagues, we're still going to be running our weekend tournaments. So like our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 4v4 variants, right? We're going to add 2 more tournaments for the weekend, cap of 12 teams, and it's going to be 12 teams in each event. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they're going to be starting that way. So we're gonna have a lot of Call of Duty to be played, and we're gonna have a lot of events going, and we want to make sure that the Call of Duty scene has more than enough to play in, right? We don't want
Yeah.
to have them looking for events. We want them just
To have
given
stuff
to
lined
them.
up already, yeah.
Exactly, and then we're gonna release our schedule as well. I'd say next week sometime for the next 6 to 8 months of the events we have planned, right? So that way teams can start planning ahead and start getting the time off if they need to, and being ready to be able to compete in our leagues and our tournaments, and then eventually maybe down the road we start hosting big LANs. So
See, that's what you need is those big lands.
yeah,
That'll
get people out there.
Darkin, give me a second. I think he's trying to flame me real fast. So Darkin in chat said, "Extend, if you took any longer, I legit gonna boot you and join." Darkin, I ain't gonna lie. Like Becca said, you'd be no better than me being quiet. So no big deal, you know. But we'll get there, and we'll talk about that later.
I mean, that boy is also the one streaming it, so that would not have worked.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
glad
I
you
mean, I
didn't
guess I
do
could have
it.
sat here in the background, like somehow configure the video, and I'd have done something. We'd figure it out. I ain't techie savvy, but we'll figure something out. But no, dude, I know we talked about MW3 like you were talking about before. My biggest thing I hated seeing yesterday, to shout out to all the streamers who streamed yesterday. Number one, your dog ass. Number two, people were crouch walking like all the time, and it was so questioning why they were crouch walking. Like I watched 4 streamers. I'm not gonna name the streamers, of course, but is there a reason people are doing that? Is there like a strat to it that I don't know? That's a serious question.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't be able to say on that one.
Dude.
Well, this is a thing I've had an issue with COD for so long. Okay, game is boring. Okay, so so hold on.
I
me
was
just
not
get it
gonna
out
say
first.
nothing. I was just gonna.
Because I'll call your ass out if you want to call me out. You can try me.
Nope.
Okay. The game is boring. The reason being is people do metas and they just want to try to look good in the game, right? So if sitting in the corner makes them look good, that's whatever. I mean, dude, I joined a game in the most recent COD MW2, and every single person on the enemy team was using a shotgun, and I'm like, dude, why? And they're like, it's just fun. I'm like, okay, you know what? Fair enough.
It's
Right?
fun. Yeah, I mean, okay.
I run around, I do my quick scopes and all that fancy stuff. I try to hit feeds, right? I barely play objective unless I have to, because like if I'm in a comp scene or something. But like I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
But people are boring, man. They're just playing the game to crouch walk around and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, this is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
guess.
I mean, I thought you were gonna call me out, but I was gonna be like, bro, you get your knives, RPGs, and your other thing gold.
Okay, I literally told you that last night. Okay, let me ask Cody. Cody, what guns do you recommend in Call of Duty? Like, what is your first thing you get gold in Call of Duty?
In a non-comp scene. Go.
And just
snipers.
Oh,
snipers.
My boy.
Skill
I,
issue. Skill issue.
I'm not.
No.
I mean, like at the end of the day, right? Like if I'm not playing to get like the Damascus or anything.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
of course.
I'm playing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I want to hit like. I want to hit feeds. I want to hit some like crazy clips, right? Like I'm not what you call a competitive player, right? I'm going into these lobbies. I'm like trying to 360 no scope these kids, bro. I'm trying to like have some fun. Like,
I mean, knives over snipers any day. I ain't gonna lie to you, dude.
Well, that's fine.
Like I said,
that's
it's
what you're having fun with.
On shipment. You play shipment? Oh nah, bro. Nah, you gotta get out of here. We should not have values. I should be like, first question for any podcast is like, what map do you prefer in Call of Duty? If they say shipment, they can't be on the podcast. That's not how that works.
Snipers. Shipment, not for snipers.
Dude,
I mean, for snipers though.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of fry with a sniper on shipment. But
Yeah,
it's cool.
well, of course you do. Whatever. Shipment takes no brain power at all. But anyway, it's knife first.
That's
for
the best
gold,
part about it.
Knife and then pistol and then rocket launchers. And after that, I don't care. I'm free wherever I want to go. You know, Darkin, you missed the fact that we're talking about how Glinzy and Cody prefer to play shipment when they use knives only because they're a bunch of punks.
Well, no. If you're using a knife and you're trying to get it gold, shipment is the best map to do it on.
Sounds like a skill
It is.
issue
You
to
put
me.
a riot shield on your back and then you go around with the knife.
Did he just say
You're telling me that's not how you're gonna get gold in a week?
But you use knives, so you're talking to two guys that watch people use knives. This is
a 2-on-1 battle. I need Becca in here to help me out because Becca would be all knife. You know, see, this is unfair. But anyways, it's fine, guys. Whatever. What do we?
I'm a quick scope stand. You already know.
Yeah, it's true. What are we rating MW3 as of right now? Like out of 10, you're rating it a 4.
A 4.
Okay.
Out of everything I've seen, I'm gonna give it a solid 5 because there's a lot they need to fix. But
yeah, I was gonna say like a 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going.
It's like better than Vanguard, I think.
Well, that ain't hard to do. I mean, I didn't play much Vanguard, but
I didn't play much Vanguard either, bro. I bought the game.
I really like Cold War though.
Cold War was the only thing that I didn't like about it was I got in the military at that time. Like I was out in the military doing things and stuff, and like it was not that I didn't expect it to be arcadey. You know, it's a Black Ops game, but it just felt too easy to me. And I know it sounds dumb to say, but it felt real easy. And then 2019 came out, and that game just gifted us all. You know, we felt good about it. That game we all hated at first, and then eventually kind of grew onto us. You know, like unlike this COD, we're like, this COD's really good, and then we played it, like, oh, this thing's actually really bad.
Yeah,
we got spoofed.
I say it all the time. Verdansk in 2019 COD, it rekindled my love for COD. Yeah. You know, and that's kind of like what I want now. And we've already talked about nostalgia way too much on this podcast, but realistically, that wasn't that long ago, but I want that same feeling of playing in Verdansk. And I will say the only reason why I'm giving it a 4 right now is because I have a lot of hope in Warzone. Multiplayer looks a little iffy to me right now.
The zombies, man. You're going to love the zombies. Kidding.
Dude, I can't even talk about that. I don't even think it looks good.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. That's a whole other discussion.
I tweeted it, and I said, this game looks... I said, zombies looks like shit.
And you put a puke emoji, too. Like, oh, no. But, dude, I
can't splash damage myself from shooting a zombie point blank in the face, and he doesn't die, and I almost die. I'm not even going to try this, man. Come on,
it's a little rough. That game's going to need a little love. I'm excited for the maps, of course, but also... I think you're talking about yesterday, Glenn, you're watching on the stream. It's just like you said, they put like a shade pack on it. Like it just made it look better. Like they've made it more vibrant, and that's really it. And to me, if you're not gonna make better maps compared to the older ones, it's kind of gonna get dry fast. You know, there's gonna be a honeymoon phase for it. You're like, oh, this is so cool. It's like the old days, and you're like, okay, well, no, it's not, because it's like playing a mobile game. You know, that's what it feels like. I won't know how to play it. I didn't get the beta. Open betas this week coming up, right? I think it's Monday through whatever.
Tomorrow.
I will be playing that, possibly. I did delete the other COD finally off my PC, so I have 400 gigabytes of storage now, thankfully. But I'm like my I don't know, man. I'm scared. I was scared for MW2. I'm scared for this one. And if this doesn't go well, not gonna lie to you guys, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm throwing it in. I'm done with
I'll
college.
give a quick shout out to Mr. V. Can't be here today. Hopefully in the near future he'll be back on. We miss you, V. We love you. But he said it was he knew right away, and then they announced it. It was supposed to be a DLC.
Yeah.
Like everything in this game was supposed to be like this. And when I was watching some of these streamers play it yesterday, the HUDs are the exact same except they chose a different color.
Yep.
Like the gunsmith, they added, and it was funny. I don't remember who I was talking to, but they added this thing where you can now alter your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
They had that.
You sent it
they
to
were
me.
called
You sent it to me
blueprints
on TikTok or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, they're the same thing. They had it. They're called blueprints that added different. Oh, it was darkened. That added different versions of the gun where you could make a pistol, a submachine gun, or whatever. Like
So
they
it's
did
just a
that. They
blueprint
just
like that
didn't.
before. Yeah, they had it.
Yeah,
where
they
you
just
buy
didn't
it.
flesh it out as much
Yeah.
as they are now trying to do. So they're just evolving what they already had, which I don't think a $70 price tag is what we want. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I
We'll
mean,
see.
inflation. We'll say that. We'll say inflation's a thing.
Yeah.
But that's that. Cody, you got any questions for us, for me or Glenzy or any of them TG? If you guys got also questions in chat, go ahead and ask away. We're about that 5-minute period now where we can kind of just talk and discuss things. So,
I mean, I want to hear from you guys. What was like the whole idea behind Tilted? Like, what was the reason why you wanted to do it? You know what I mean? Like, what inspired you? I want to hear all about it.
So,
let's hear about this.
TG actually started back in the official start date of TG was back at the beginning of 2020. And then
Crazy.
it was a long time ago. I kind of had a friend that me and Glenzy knew season. We were like, hey, let's create a thing and create it for a little bit. And I was like, I go to college. I got, full-time job. I'm doing other things. And I kind of died off. I was like, all right, we'll push it aside, whatever like that. And then this year came around. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. So we all started again. I got a buddy of mine, Darkin, Glenzy together. Bunny, me and Bunny were actually part of Regiment. Shout out Regiment back there. Great group of guys, by the way. Regiment GG. But got together and I was like, dude, let's go from a small team of nobodies to not a huge org, I shouldn't say that, but to the big screen, like any other org wants to be,
Mhm.
Let's get out there. Let's show people that, hey, even if you're not known at the beginning, it takes time to grow. But you can make it to these things, and the biggest drive TG has is the growth to kind of like push everyone, my content creators, I really want them to do good, I want all of them to be partners in Twitch. It's in YouTube or whatever you want to call it, when it comes to the comp guys, I talk to my comp guys like I would talk to myself if I was the owner of an org. I'm like, hey, you may not be playing with the top guys right now, but I mean, where's other teams start at? Where did Scump and all them start at? They started at the bottom just like we are, and we get there. It takes time to get to these things, and that's the biggest motivation we have in TG. And thankful these guys are understanding of it. I ain't the best, owner. I won't lie. I have my moments. We all do. Glenzy gets on to me more than anybody does.
I have to, bro.
Yeah, I have
and
to.
It's not that too. I mean, here I'll chime in just a tad bit to add on that. Just like he said, 2020, we were just some random ass dudes streaming at the time, right?
Yeah, that's when I was streaming too. That was crazy.
Yeah, he was streaming. Buddy Season was streaming, and we just got thrown into this Discord, and it just sat there. It just kind of sat there. We kind of got pulled apart a little bit, at least from them two. I know they went on and played a lot of games and built relationship with each other, and then randomly I got a message like, hey, we're bringing this shit back, and I was like,
yeah, do you want to be a streamer? You're like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, shit, I'll come in, like, I'll see what's up. And ever since then, man, Cinema, he like he said, he has his ups and his downs, but we all do. I mean, and the one thing I want to say is he's there for us when we are down, and he's there when we're up. And he continuously pushes us forward. So shout out to him.
Thank you.
He wants to say that he's not the greatest owner. Tell him to shut up. If I was there, I'd punch you in the face. Even though he doesn't want to move to my state, it's okay.
Who wants to move to Arizona? Like, I need a poll in chat right now who's moving to Arizona. Because you said, let me run this by you, Cody, real fast. So today, right, I live in NC. Go ahead, dock me if you want, whatever. Dude, it was 61 degrees, right? And I posted on Snapchat. We're in a group chat, cool kids. And he texted me, oh, it's 99 here. Like, dude, what? I don't know. Why would I want that? Why would I want 99?
Bro, it's currently 99 still, okay? But it's a good 99.
No.
You're saying, wait, hold on. You're saying, why would you want this, bro? But you're an outdoorsy guy. You're trying to tell me you don't want to go and jump in the lake and go to Sedona or Flagstaff right down the road. I'm just saying, bro.
I know
like,
it's fall
there's
time, so no, I
dude,
like my seasons. You know what I mean? I like my
it gets that way. It
yearly.
gets
That's
the winter is perfect here. It's
No.
literally perfect. The trees change.
the tr-
Okay,
oh,
and it
not
gets
the
cold.
trees, not the trees.
And it gets
oh.
cold. It just doesn't snow. I'm sorry you guys like snow. In
We
a
don't-
month when you're ordering a TG hoodie and it's fucking cold, I'm gonna be like, haha, fuck y'all.
At least I'll have a TG hoodie that I'm using as a chair background, by the way. But I got the hat on, so that's all that matters. But yeah, dude, Cody,
Oh,
honestly, that was, like I said, TG itself was kind of just a started off as like a quote unquote joke, use that lightly, of course, but then it became this thing of, hey, let's kind of push each other to be this thing, to get out there and get on the main stage, you know. There's no, like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to the name Tilted. It just sounded really smooth at first. Tilted Gaming, TiltedOrg, you know, Get Tilted. Shout out Fortnite, Tilted Towers. No, I'm kidding. That's not why. But you know,
That's awesome.
But
The colors are in the talks.
yeah,
Just kidding.
the color,
No,
the
I'm just
colors are. I actually the colors. I don't know where they really came from. It was more. I like blue anyways. That's my thing. And I just felt like when you come to an esports team, any vibrant color stands out. You know, like you can do like red and black and all that stuff. And there's always going to be that light color and the dark color when it comes to esports. I've realized. Like there's always the two that are always there. So like, sign on and you know, great, looks fantastic. But dude, that's it. That's TG's story. We have come very far in the last couple.
You gotta
months.
start somewhere, man. You
Yeah.
can't, like, it doesn't happen overnight either, right? And, like,
No,
that's,
at all.
That's the best thing about esports is, like, if someone got like, I think I'd rather be where we are right now than to wake up tomorrow morning with 1 million followers.
I think
Because
it's
we wouldn't
the
be able to
slow growth
manage
feels
that.
good. Yeah, the slow growth feels
It
good
does.
because it's more
You
of
wouldn't
a.
be able to manage 1 million people that quick, and then
Exactly.
you'd end up slipping up, and you wouldn't know what to do, right? And then you'd get
Mhm.
so bombarded by everything, right? The slow growth is where you want to be because you're building up a community, you're building up a following,
Yep.
and it's gonna happen over time. It's just you can't expect it to happen all in one night, right? And like I feel like that's the best thing about the scene, in my opinion.
Most and like you used to know slow growth, like Becca Holler in chat, she's talking about how she made new friends and stuff in the orgs, and you know I'm sure people in your org are the same way. And Darkin's talking about Darkins and Glitzy, they stream together a lot. And he's talking about how his Twitch is growing. Like things like that is what makes me as an owner feel really good. Like, hey, I'm doing something right. It may not be helping the org grow completely itself, but it's helping these other guys get out there and get their name out there, you know. And I have no issue with that. You know, it's all about it's what you know. It sounds a little lame, but it's kind of one team kind of thing, one team, one fight situation that we have over here. But
I mean, that's how it is with everything. I mean, learning to edit. I mean, learning to post TikToks. I mean, literally, like Darkin said, like, you know, he called me a really good friend. Like me and him got together, and I didn't know Darkin, but we have so much in common from freaking airsoft to you know the military background, all that stuff. Like we bond really well, and he's become one of my best friends now, and stuff like that. Like we just created that community of. Honestly, it's not even like an organization. Almost like when you hop on your computer and you join this Discord, like you're walking into your house and you get to greet your homies and your family members and stuff like that.
Hey, that TG house is coming. I want you to know that. We looked at last night. Listen, Cody, you're gonna make fun of us for this. We stayed up last night till 2:00 looking at houses in Tennessee just for like the possibly buy eventually. Like it's just as a joke, of course, but like you know, it builds that bonding. You know, we're all looking at houses like that sink looks terrible, that bathtub's not, things like that. You know,
Like I think every org does that, man.
Yeah,
I can't even cap because
everybody wants to be there, dude. Yeah, everybody wants to be there and have a house
bro.
together. Like a TG. Oh my god, bro, a tilted house. What? We'll get
just to be able to visit that shit and then make vlogs and stuff or something, dude. I don't know. I'm like, damn, that would be so sick.
It'd be kind of nice if we had like about $4 million. You know,
that would be cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. But... all right,
everybody's dream at the end of the day to get that house.
Exactly.
Stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so Darkin said, coming from two orgs for completely different games, CG has had more growth than any of them, and it's been great to watch this one grow the way it has. There is all-around support, and it's beautiful. So pretty much what he's saying is he's been a part of a lot of different organizations, and he said this is the one that he's been a part of that's been growing the most. And, I mean, dude, I'll be the one to say it too. Like Darkin's helped that, like, just putting your knowledge and everything from being in those organizations and bringing it upon us. And then obviously cinema, just being able to, honestly, to have the balls to like hop in here with you, Cody, and like talk about organizations or message you guys when he's fucking up or, you know, whatever it is, he has the willingness to learn. I think honestly, and I love it too. Like I said already, like I hop into people's streams and not steal stuff, but like learn and you know, kind of try to perfect my craft. So yeah, shout out to Darkin and the whole crew, and shout out to you guys too. Thanks for being on the pod.
Yeah, definitely shout out
Thanks
to
for
Skyline
having
GG
us,
again,
man.
guys. If you guys aren't following Skyline, make sure you do. They're fucking
Mhm.
fantastic people. We share their stuff all
Much
the time.
appreciated.
Dude, you guys are
Much
absolute.
appreciated.
Like I said, I like when you guys message me like, "Hey, we have an event coming up." Like, dude, say less. I'm in. Like every time you message me, like, yeah, that's it. Even if
Dude,
we
when
take
you
the L.
messaged me about the podcast, bro, I was like, bet. And then I messaged everybody in the team. I was like, I'm about to be on a podcast.
I'm about to be famous, guys. Chill out.
I can't wait. I was so hyped about it. Oh man, it was really exciting, and like the fact that you guys reached out and you wanted me to come onto the podcast. It just like
Yeah.
it's almost that feeling that like you feel like you did something right. You
Yeah,
know what
of
I mean?
course.
Like you've put in all this work, and then like people
Mhm.
wanting to actually sit down and want to talk to you about what you've done. It feels great and it's awesome, and like being able to make like the friendships in this scene too, and be able to make something from it too, man. It's just awesome.
It is, and like that. My biggest thing about podcasts is like you said, it feels good. And my biggest output on anything is if I was in someone else's seat, is kind of how I look at things. You know, like if you know I invited you because I want to be the person being invited to a podcast. You know what I mean? Like I want to be that kind of thing, and it feels good hearing that from you, and I mean that heart to heart. You know, man to man. It just feels really good. And I love doing that stuff, and that's why I told Glenzy and V when he was here, and Bunny and all the guys, like I have no issue inviting people. It's good to hear other people's story because we all grow in different ways. You know, we all do different things different ways, and it's just really neat to see. And of course discuss about. But
exactly, yeah.
So I mean, I have nothing else. You guys got anything else?
I have one more question.
Go for it.
Cody, do you drink?
Occasionally.
Okay, cool. So we're eventually just, I mean, obviously we've been talking about this for a while. We will eventually be having a Tilted Plus podcast where we drink and play random video games and just talk about random stuff. So, I mean, I'm not saying you're officially invited, but I'm kind of saying you're officially invited.
You kind of get it. You might get invited.
You might get an invite.
I'm down, bro. I'm down. That sounds awesome.
It's gonna be our little night kind of thing that we're gonna do eventually and stuff. It's still in the works. But we want to get 2 podcasts going, and especially the Tilted Plus one more for like getting content. So, but other than that, I mean, if anyone's got chat anything to say, you can. We're gonna sit here and kind of just float around for a second. Like I said, let's give it about 2-3 minutes, and then we'll go. But Cody, I'm going to say thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it.
Dude,
it was nice talking to you.
I've had a blast.
Dude, I'm glad you did. I'm glad we had a little bit of issues midway through, but that's okay. You know, my fault. My headset kind of pooped out, and I was like, wait a second. So I was looking pretty.
Everything fell apart.
I was looking pretty. All right, that's all I gotta say. I held it in. You know, I had that smile going and stuff.
Oh shoot, that's so funny.
So
crazy. I was crazy once.
Oh god, they locked me in a room because you're washed. Okay, whatever.
Whoa,
well, that's rude,
hey, Spacey. Love you too, Spacey.
Yeah, I was gonna say Spacey.
Chat there.
I was gonna say Spacey said hi earlier, and I just wasn't able to input that in for you, but he wanted me to tell you hi.
Hi, Spacey. Yeah, thank you for being here, by the way.
Except he just outed you and said that you don't play video games, but that's crazy.
I don't. We talked about it just before the podcast started. Like, I haven't played video.
Managing is a pain, dude.
Dude, like balancing school, work, the org, and then having a little bit of free time to play video games. Like it takes a long enough time for the game to download, and then when the game's downloaded, you're on to something else, right?
Cinema does that, man. He just downloads a bunch of shit and then like doesn't click any of them or later.
It's like just sits on my desktop. So I like the way it looks. Is all it is. So it looks like I play video games. You know, it's like I have this game. How much hours you get into it? Like 0.2 hours. No big deal.
All right.
That was just a download.
So with that being said, I'll go ahead and close it out for you. I wanted to give a couple shout outs right now. So in the chat, I am dropping our link tree. So if you guys aren't already following any of the socials, wow, did it not work or is it just lagging? Who knows?
Did you not?
Sorry? Pause? Let's try this one instead. Is it the full thing?
Is our bot
why?
Down? Did our bot just...
Okay, no. Just... Oh, it's... You know what it is? I'm sorry. I'm professional. It's links. There it is.
Oh, shoot.
There's all our links. If you guys aren't following them already, go show some love. We would really appreciate it. Space Boy, if you don't mind, if you want to drop your guys' Discord too, go for it. Go and show some love over there as well. We got to share the love around here. In the near future, we do have a video currently being edited. It is reviewing all of Tilted members' setups that obviously submitted them. So you get to see all of our setups, some memes, and we just kind of had a good time on it. And then yeah, other than that, cinema.
What we I mean that's about it. I mean we got all customs like you said. We got coffee. We got Sword Dog. We got a lot going on. All right, TG's got a lot going on. As you guys heard, Cody and Skyline have a lot going on too. If he drops that Discord link, everyone in TG, please join that. Let's hop in there, support them. I know I'm in there. I don't talk much. I kind of lurk all the time. But they have a lot going on, and some of their guys are pretty cool. I mean, they're pretty chill. You know, there are people in there like Cody and Space Boy and all that. But
Damn
yeah,
it.
I mean that's it. Cody, you got anything you want to say? Last minute words, anything?
Hey man, thanks for having me. This was a blast. I was looking forward to it a lot too, and I'm glad it happened. And
Yeah.
anytime you guys need anybody to come onto the podcast, man, just let me know. I'm
Oh,
down.
dude, of course. We'll have to invite you back eventually. Like, I think, you know, when both of us hit like about 1 million followers on each account, we'll come back to it. You know what I mean? We'll
Hell
discuss the growth and
Perfect.
stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
But-
That sounds lit.
But, dude, again, we appreciate you. And to everyone in chat, thank you for being here. This will be up on
Mhm.
YouTube. Hopefully, if I did everything right. If not, hey, you know, I tried. You know what I mean? But let me do the whole thing, you know, V does. You know, you can't be a part of us unless you do one thing. You know what that one thing is? It's the hashtag GetTilted, baby. You guys be safe. Have a good night. And again, we really appreciate you guys. Y'all take it easy. Later, turds.